So what you see behind us, that little arch that you see far away in the back, is actually not just a regular cave, but a very, very interesting, very fascinating structure that really holds a crazy story in Afghani history. So that behind us is actually one of the tallest Buddha statues in the entire world. And in 2001, it was unfortunately destroyed completely. So what's our plan today?
Our plan is to go till there and see how big the statue is and why it was destroyed and how it has been restored now. And also I'm curious to see what those little holes are in the mountain behind.
Let's go. So this is actually where we're staying. And just down the road at the very end, we pull up to the Buddha Park. So as you can see, there's a lot of open space right here. A lot of fields. And during the season, they actually grow, I guess, a bunch of vegetables and probably even wheat here. But because now it's winter, nothing much is happening. There are a lot of mud houses.
They look so fragile from outside, but they're actually really strong.
The houses also have a very peculiar construction, not because of them being made of mud, but it's because they have a lot of barbed wire around them. It almost looks like each one of these houses is like a little fortress of some kind. It's pretty weird, but I don't know, something says that there's a lot of crazy history here. Something that's a little scary.
And everywhere you look, it's just brown houses, brown trees, brown mountains, brown mud, brown sand.
Last night it was 7 degrees. So that should give
7 degrees.
Yeah, sorry. So that should give you an idea of what it's like.
And from our room, we have this beautiful view of this exact same mountain which we are visiting today. And we can see the Buddha statue from our room itself.
So before we get to the Buddha, I just wanted to show you these holes, like the caves in the mountain. All of these are actually dwellings. People used to come here and live. And not necessarily all of them were permanent houses. Most of them were actually like little lodges back in the day. And when I say back in the day, it's actually the Silk Road era. So thousands of years ago, Bamyan was actually a very important spot on the Silk Road, which used to pass through this part of Afghanistan. And a lot of travelers would come from the east and the west, and they would end up meeting here. And in this particular spot, the houses, the caves that you see there, many of them are actually carved out from the rock. So it's just like pretty much a 2-story house in some cases. Sometimes it's even a 3-story cave system that was actually built to house travelers who would come from far. Now, I don't know if these are free or paid, but it looked like a pretty cool place to hang out. So
now it's all empty and only thing we see is some pigeons and birds inside the caves.
Yeah, I think for a long time the Taliban also actually had hideouts there, because they used to, like, we saw a bunch of flags floating here and there, but now it doesn't look like there are too many people over there.
This actually reminds me of Petra. Even there they would have these cave dwellings and people would stay inside them. And also we saw something similar in Goris.
Looks like the horse is dressed for winter. Salam. There seems to be some kind of mausoleum with a Nike tick mark. Ooh, maybe probably somebody was buried here a long time ago, because there seems to be a shape of a tomb and circular dome. Oh, there's actually a canal here and it's completely frozen.
Woohoo! We could have gone that side, but it's too wide.
So we're right now walking towards the big Buddha.
So this Buddha statue actually dates back to the 6th century, so it's really old.
And the cave itself is about 105 meters tall or so. So it's really large. And they say that at its time, it was the tallest Buddha structure. And historians haven't really discovered anything as big or bigger than this one.
Really like how this looks. So it's just a mountain and so many Small houses inside it.
One of them has walls. You see that?
Yeah, and I think it'll be like a duplex house inside the mountain. Do
Yeah.
you think it'll be like that?
Absolutely. Cool.
So
I see one with a door. You see that?
And the mountain is also like in different shades of brown. Here you see it's like dark maroon, reddish kind of thing. And as you go higher, it's light brown.
Right now in front of the bigger of the two Buddha statues.
But if you see, you can't actually identify that it's a Buddha statue. You can see so many scaffoldings in front of it.
So the scaffolding actually comes there because of restoration work being done by the United Nations, specifically by UNESCO. And the whole story around it is like this. Between 1977 and 2001, the Western countries were funding a lot of the restoration projects here. And at that time, there was also a humanitarian issue here in Afghanistan because of Afghanistan getting stuck in between the Russian sphere of influence, USSR at the time, and the American sphere of capitalist influence. So because of that, Afghanistan sort of became a gateway for both of these powers to enter into the rest of Asia towards India and so on. So due to the war and instability in the region, UNESCO prioritized restoration of this because it holds great historical importance. However, in 2001, because the Taliban didn't really believe in this being of relevance to an Islamic republic, they said this supports idol worship. They don't believe in idols and it should be destroyed. They ended up bombing this entire thing with dynamite. This was also, from their perspective, they also say that this was a message to the Western countries that they don't want them interfering in their country and they don't want them funding things like this when there's actually a humanitarian crisis, poverty, and malnutrition, etc. in the country. So with that happening, from between 2001 and 2020, this remained sort of in the same situation with absolutely no restoration work being done.
So right now the Taliban is again trying to restore this exact structure so that they can attract more tourists and also restore the culture in this part of Afghanistan.
As you know, Bamyan is not really the same culture as the rest of the country. They are a little less Islamic in that way. However, it's very ironic to know that the Taliban are now charging tickets to go here. So while we were trying to take pictures, that guy came and just started to shout at us to go get tickets.
Oi, go.
So it's a bit ironic that they now charge tickets to come
But you
and
can
see
easily
this.
see it from the road itself.
Yeah.
I see no point why they should collect a ticket
That's
and
true.
charge for it. In Bamyan, it's so different from the rest of Afghanistan. Even a small kid just came walking beside us and he's doing this and asking paisa paisa.
Like money.
Everybody wants money here in Bamyan.
This is a stark departure from the rest of Afghanistan, and quite frankly, we don't really like it so much. And as you can see, all of these walls look like they were broken down by bombings. So this is the second Buddha, and this one's much smaller, only about half the size or so, maybe around 55 meters. And this one is in a slightly better condition than the other one.
But here you can see caves. It has doors and windows as well. I think even during the recent years, people used to live here, maybe. Or
Maybe.
it was like a hideout.
Another little piece of the story that we found very interesting. The Buddha statues were built, of course, in the 6th century, and Islam actually came here to Afghanistan in the 10th century. So the story was actually weaved to be a little like this. The bigger Buddha was the prince of the region, and the smaller Buddha statue was actually the statue of a forbidden princess who was not supposed to come to this part of the kingdom. However, the two of them were in love and they wanted to be together, and that could never happen. So that is why their love froze them into two separate rocks so far away from each other to show that they could never be together. So again, this is like a folklore locally here. So it's a little crazy how you have so many varieties of story here.
Navneet has gone all the way up there. And look how small Navneet looks in front of this big statue. Lilliput.
Not only do they have houses, but they also have a drainage system right there. So this is definitely more modern because it's PVC. So this is like a little room. You can see they're constructing a new ticket entrance right here. So maybe if you get to visit this country in a few years' time, or probably in a few months' time, this might actually be the new place to get the ticket. Right now, we still don't know where to get the ticket, and we've just come out of the Buddha zone. As you can see, the chickens are feeding off of the local drain. The ice has just begun to melt. Afghanistan still has a long way to go in terms of cleanliness.
Yeah.
And so far, we haven't really seen people actively talking about it, but hopefully that changes within the next few months, because the government, we heard, is trying to do a lot of new things. And somebody just told us that the Taliban now is very different from the one they had in the 90s, which is why they are very interested in restoring all of this land. As you can see, there's a very nice stream here that Shish wants to now swim in.
What?
There's a very nice stream here that Shish wants to swim in.
No, I don't want to swim in it. It's filled with moss.
It looks very nice. Huh? Why? Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, just keep coming. Don't look down.
It's so snappy.
No, it moves up and down, but it's okay. Yeah. Listen to Tata.
Navneet, no, don't.
It's okay. It's very easy. Come. Okay, come. No, it will shake. It's okay. Just come.
Give me the key. I'll go back.
Come.
No. You want to go?
No.
He's showing you how to come.
You put head.
No, it's okay.
Just come, Shishira.
No. Just stand there only.
Okay. मैं तो एक में भी ऐसे जा सकता
Ah, that uncle wanted to help us by creating a way here, but Shish finally made it.
But it was quite scary in between, but okay.
So, you can see. Ah. Come, Shish. Ah, Tajik.
कितना घंटे का ट्रैकिंग
2 दिन का. Oh, we were just walking through the village here. There's a bunch of geese.
And there were a few ladies talking on their terrace, and they were like, "Salam, chai." They were like inviting us to have
We
some
should have
tea.
gone. Yeah, they called.
Yeah, they called. I told Tashakur, if they insisted again, I would have gone.
Okay.
Like
So-
there's a rule in Afghanistan. Like at first, people offer you free food or free drink or free snacks. But if you tell no and then you tell you want to pay, they will take the money from you. So it's
Return
like-
note 3 times.
Yeah, at least 3 times refuse what they're offering. And even after that, if they insist, then be glad and take it. Accept it.
So as you can see, this
There
is
is a
actually a very, very cool farm truck, completely stripped. I have no clue which vehicle it is, but
But the cow is tied to the tractor.
yeah. So this is how they do farming here in rural Bamyan. Say bye to the kid.
Give it up.
we're now walking back towards the city center, and our plan is to get the next minibus back to Kabul. We are pretty much done with exploring Bamyan at this point,
And maybe even Afghanistan, unless we find another interesting location.
And
Yeah.
Bamyan is 2 days, 3 days is enough, and
Yeah.
here it's too much cold.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Negative 7 degrees at the night, so that's why here is traveling.
and we just wanted to say that thanks to Lobo, we learned a lot about filmmaking and editing, especially about YouTube.
Already everything know both are.
No, but you gave us a lot of
But
tips.
my experience, I share everything, like my experience. And just as the night, we talk about the whole journey, my
About
journey.
travel.
It's a very good experience. था मेरे इन दोनों से मिलके और
Okay, thank you
अच्छा
so
लगा।
much. So now we head back to the bus station to find a ride and also to get some food before we get on the move. So
We
thanks.
can get some chawal and lobio.
Bye bye to Bamyan. This is a regular traveler. This is Lobo traveler. Okay.
Show your face, yeah.
Okay, it started recording now.
Oh my god, now need. Hey, no, it was recording.
No, it started now.
You pressed it, I had started it.
Okay, so that was a fail. Okay, so इधर आता है
इधर
इस
उधर नहीं इधर तो नहीं होता
इस साइड में